wonderful year ones. Today's English lesson is all about our story, Man on the Moon. So you will need to watch the separate video of me reading the story. And this week we're going to be writing diaries as if we were Bob on the moon. So everything we do is going to be helping us this week for when we write our diary. And today we're going to see if we can remember the events in the story, and we're going to draw a story map to help us. So I'm going to show you in a moment my own story map that I've done and talk you through it, and this is what it looks like, and then it will be your turn. So I'm just going to try something here. I'm going to try and make my screen bigger so you can see me there. And this is so that you can see the story map that I've done up close, and then you'll be able to copy some ideas from this story map. So I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read you the pictures. So at 6 o'clock, Bob has his breakfast. He has a mug of tea and 2 eggs. And after that, he rides to work. And he works on the moon, so he rides to his rocket. At 8 o'clock, Bob gets ready for going onto the moon. He puts on his spacesuit and he gets inside his rocket. Okay, you can follow the arrow on our story map. Okay, when he gets to the moon, his first job is to hoover the moon, to keep it tidy, because everybody's left rubbish on the moon. We follow the arrow, and this time the clock is telling us, so at lunchtime, Bob has a sandwich and an apple. And after lunch, Bob does some exercises on the moon to entertain any passengers, any tourists that have come whizzing by in their rockets. After that, or at the end of the day, when everyone's gone home, Bob has to check the moon, and he looks inside the craters with his torch, but he doesn't see anybody inside. Okay, finally, it's time for Bob to go home. So at 5 o'clock, he zooms back home, back to Earth in his rocket. Okay, and when he gets home, he has a bath, and eventually he goes to sleep. Okay. So I think he must feel very, very, very exhausted at the end of his working busy day. So that's how I use the story map to retell the story, and that's what I would like you to do when you've drawn your story map. Can you tell that story to a grown-up? Ask if or a partner, if someone has also listened to the story, then can they tell it to you as well? If not, don't worry. And then I was thinking, because you're at home, you lucky things, you can keep this and maybe just put it on the table. Then you can tell the story at your meal times, maybe at lunchtime or at dinner time. And you can, just before bed, maybe tell it as a story at bedtime as well. Okay, because this is really going to help us when we write our diaries this week. So I'm going to hold this up now, and you're going to be able to use this, pause the PowerPoint, and then you can use this to copy the pictures. And don't worry if they're not the best pictures in the world. You always thought my drawings were quite funny, I think, in year one. So don't worry if they're not the best drawings. We just go for it, don't we? So I have drawn stick men for Bob the astronaut, which you can do too. They don't have to be perfect, as long as you know what it is that you've drawn. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up now. Oh, there we go.